had a beautiful evening. Now, I've just given the evening a compliment. It's beautiful. How often during our day do we add value? And right now it's the end of my day. And I really like to have a look back over my day and ask, how did I add value today? And one of the most beautiful things, according to the experts in communication, the brain scientists, even the sociologists, suggest that the ultimate compliment that we can give somebody is to ask for their advice, to ask for their opinion. What do you really think? So it's nice to give people compliments. You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're smart, you're intelligent. You can do amazing things. That's a beautiful cake you've baked. That's a beautiful picture you've painted. They're beautiful compliments to give people. But it's been suggested that if you really want to add value to the world, that you would ask for somebody's opinion, for their advice, ask them what they really think. Then the communication experts come in again and say, and when you ask a question, the really important thing to do now is to lean forward, maintain eye contact, open body language, and to actively listen. So that if you want people to feel really special, what do you think? And then really listen to what they've got to say. Without passing judgment, without interrupting, without arguing, without disagreeing. So if you really do want to add value to your world, and I get that some people just don't, but if you want to get to the end of your day and be able to look back and say, I made people feel special today, I added value to people's lives today, would it be a really nice thing to ask? How many compliments did I give today? And here's just an interesting side note I was shared a very long time ago. Rowie, don't filter your compliments. So if you're thinking something, don't filter it, don't stop it, just say it. And I've been doing that ever since. So if I see somebody with beautiful hair, I always say, wow, you've got beautiful hair. Now, I notice beautiful hair because I don't have any. So I always make comment on somebody's beautiful hair. I always notice jewellery, because jewellery always comes with usually two very beautiful stories. One is that piece of jewellery was bought for that person by somebody special and they're wearing it because it means something to them, or they bought it for themselves. And I've never had an experience where I've made comment on beautiful jewellery and the person hasn't shared with me the gorgeous story that's come behind that piece of jewellery. So if I see a really nice piece of jewellery, I always say, wow, what a beautiful piece of jewellery. Tell me about that. Now, if you're not interested in jewellery, or you're not interested in hair, or you're not interested in people, this just comes across as what we call flattery, or what's she trying to sell me, or it's just fake. But if it's really important to you and very genuinely you are interested in what that person, you can see about them. So again, because I've been in the exercise profession all of my life, if I see somebody with beautiful biceps or lovely calf muscles or really good posture, I always say, wow, you look amazing and here's the reasons why. And that's the really important part of, if you want to add value to somebody's life by giving them a compliment, the really important thing is that you add specifically why. Not just, you've got gorgeous hair, but I notice gorgeous hair because I don't have any. You've got really lovely toned, beautiful arms. I notice arms because I'm an exercise professional. This is the most beautiful meal I've ever tasted, and I can share that passionately because I eat out all the time. And notice the connection there. It's not just the compliment, it's the reason why you gave the compliment, and it adds so much more value than just, if there's two parts there. Make sure you compliment. If you really want to make people feel special, give them compliments, praise them. But don't just go blah, add the why behind the blah. And it makes people feel very, very special. Now, one of the interesting things that I've also learnt the hard way is that compliments can be very offensive if you're not very careful. So if you say to somebody, wow, you've lost a heap of weight, it can come across as, wow, you were really fat before. And people can get offended by that. The reverse of that is if somebody has lost a lot of weight and perhaps they would love people to notice, what do you do now? So the advice that was given me, and something again that I've applied into my life, is just to say, you have been doing something very special. You seem like you are glowing. You've got energy, you've got passion, you've got excitement. What's happening in your life right now that's making you look and feel that way? And again, be very, very careful. One of the interesting things, particularly now as an old lady, I always thought that when I was an old lady, so when I was a young lady, I always thought that by the time I was an old lady, people would be very respectful of me, and that they would be aware that I'm an old lady. And that's when people talk to me now, that's not usually the case, apart from the fact that most people are disrespectful, not just to me, but just disrespectful in general. But there's very little awareness of the life that somebody has lived. And simply because somebody is 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years of age, they have lived. So to ask somebody of my era and older for advice, for their opinion, for what they believe in and why, is a very beautiful thing to be able to do for somebody. But if you start telling people about you and talking about you, and this is what I've done, is it possible that that could be very offensive to the person who has lived longer than you, may know more than you, has had more experience than you, has more in-depth knowledge than you in that particular area? So it's a difficult thing, I get it, because people say, look, I don't want to give compliments because what if I offend somebody? And that would be awful, I get that. But wouldn't it be sad if you were thinking something really special about somebody but you didn't give them the compliment? So all I'm asking is this: if you want to add value into somebody's life, be genuine. And there's this really important part of communication that I talk about quite regularly. And I think people get it because it's a normal part of life. And I'll give you the example of it. About 5% of what we say in communication is our words. So we actually say something, about 5%, depending on which expert you listen to. So a tiny little amount of our communication is our words. A very large part of our communication is our facial expressions, our body language, and our voice intonation, the way we say the words. So when you give somebody a compliment, they might not remember the words, but they will remember the way you said it, and more importantly, the way it made them feel, which is why the facial expressions, the body language, and the voice intonation are more important than just the words, which is why if you're giving people compliments on social media or in a text message or in an email, you lose all those beautiful bits, which is your facial expressions, your body language, and your voice intonation. But the communication experts will share with us that the most important part of my communication with you and vice versa are I call them sparkly bits. The psychologists call it your ethos. It's who you really are. It's your inside shining out that you have no control over. And I'll share this with you because we've all experienced this. Have you met somebody that said the right thing? They said it with great voice intonation, with great body language, with great facial expressions. But after the conversation, you thought to yourself, nah, idiot, or no, I don't trust them, or no, I don't like them. Even though they said the right words and they said it in the right way with all the right things happening, there was just something about them. Your gut feeling said to you, no, I don't trust that person, or I don't like them, or there's something about them that just doesn't work well for me. Well, that's what the psychologists call your ethos, your insides shining out, your sparkly bits. So the beautiful part of that is, even if you screw up the words, tiny percentage of communication, even if you don't have great body language, voice intonation, and facial expressions, most communication, and the experts will suggest more than 50% of our communication, is who we really are. The reason why we're giving the compliment, the reason why we're doing the talking. So people don't remember what you say. They might remember the way you say it, but most importantly, they will remember the way you made them feel. So if the compliment's coming from a genuine place, if you want to add value into somebody's life by making them feel special, 2 parts, please compliment. So if you're thinking a compliment, please say it. Wow, you've got beautiful teeth. I notice teeth because I've had some challenges with my teeth, so I always see beautiful teeth. That gives you the reason for the compliment. But the really important part is why I'm giving you the compliment, and the really, really special joy that you can add to somebody's life by treating them respectfully, treating them with the ultimate respect, which is to ask for their opinion, to ask for their advice, tell me what you really think. And we live in a world now where people are very happy to tell you what they think, but not very many people are happy to listen. So if somebody's got a religious opinion, a political belief, an idea about how to parent children, an idea about financial planning, the kind of house you should buy, whatever they're passionate about, even if you don't agree with them, Why would we disagree? That's not adding value, is it? If you've got this argumentative streak about you, maybe go find some other people that like to argue. Could that be a good idea? But if you want to add value into somebody's life, ask them questions, listen to them talk, respect who they are and where they've come from, and ask for their advice and their opinion and why they do the things that they do. And then without arguing, lean forward, maintain eye contact, open body language, and actively listen to make people feel special. Wouldn't the world be a better place if we did that every day? On this beautiful end to this beautiful day, may we aim to make people special, feel special every single day. Super duper doo. I hope that you are happy, healthy, and love your life. Thanks for coming to Romax. Woo!